The card I'm going to show you today is made using the stamp set World Treasures, and I'm going to use the Peacock stamp out of that set on this project. The first thing I'm going to do is take this piece of chocolate chip cardstock. It's 5.5 by 1.5 inches, and I'm going to emboss it using our new Fancy Fan folder for the Big Shot. So I'm going to go ahead and do that first so I can get the Big Shot out of the way. This is the new folder, and I'm just going to stick the cardstock right inside. And then I use this opened up with my platform, both tabs open. And then I just need to put the embossing folder between my two cutting pads. Set it on here and just crank it through. And then when I open my folder, I have that awesome texture right on there. So I will move the Big Shot out of the way, and then we can go ahead and continue with the stamping parts of this card. The actual base of the card is Whisper White cardstock. It's 8.5 by 5.5, and then when folded, it's 4.25 by 5.5, which is the typical standard size card that I make. This is a piece of Lucky Limeade, and this piece is 5 inches by 3 3/4, and I'm just going to center that on the white card. Then I'm going to use my snail adhesive again and put some on the back of this chocolate chip layer, and then layer that on the front of the card as well. Okay, now for the stamping part. This piece of Whisper White is 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. And for this particular stamp set, I ordered the clear mount stamps. So I'm using my acrylic block E with the Peacock stamp, and I'm using our chocolate chip classic ink. Now again, this is a new ink pad. If you are not aware, with our new catalog that came out on June 1st, we have a new ink pad. The pad itself is actually different. It's more of a foam-like pad, and so I can tap much more gently across the ink pad, and I can see right in here I didn't quite get enough on the Peacock, so what I'll do is just pick this up and just tap the ink on that way. Okay. Another thing that you can do when you have your stamps, after you ink them up, you can see that I have just a little bit of ink around the edges here. Just going to wipe that off, and then also up here, just to make sure it doesn't come off on my project. Although you have to remember then that you have really inky fingers. So using the clear mount stamps, I can easily see where the stamp is going to go. Give it some good firm pressure. And then I have my Peacock. Now again, this was chocolate chip ink, and then I'm going to use several markers to color in the Peacock. And these are the fun colors that I'm using. This is Tangerine Tango, Daffodil Delight, Lucky Limeade, and Pacific Point. These three are actually all part of the Bold Brights collection, and then the Lucky Limeade is one of our in colors for 2011-2013. So this is the color combination that I'm using, and you might look at this and think that there's just so much detail and that it would take a really long time to color. And it does take some time, but by using the brush end like this, I can really get through it pretty quickly. So I just go around and add the Pacific Point to the feathers on the background, that top layer. And then the next color that I use is the Lucky Limeade, and on this I'm going to do these almost diamond shape areas. And again, with the brush end, it just goes really quickly. I'm going to come down here and do these spots as well. Just kind of doing half of it to give you the idea. And then the daffodil, I'm going to color in this area here. So see, it does go pretty quickly. And then the tangerine I'm going to use on this part right close to the body of the peacock. Okay? Then what I would do is layer this using my snail adhesive again onto a piece of Tangerine Tango cardstock, and this is 3 inches by 4 inches. I better turn my cardstock over to rub it down because I'm so inky. And then I'm going to add some Stampin' Dimensionals to this layer, 1 in each corner, and peel off the backing. And then this will go right in the center here. And then of course I would finish coloring. And then the last thing that I do to this card is add rhinestones. Each of these spots right here, these little like flower pieces, I put one of our medium rhinestones on there. Hopefully you can see the bling when the light catches on the rhinestones. So it's a fun card, and the bling just really adds a lot to it. Next week, I'm going to post a video that shows how to make this folder, and it's to hold cards and envelopes. It's going to coordinate with the Peacock card and stamp set that I used today. So if you'd like to tune in next week, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you'll receive notification of when I post this next video. For daily creative inspiration, visit my blog or find me on Facebook at Jody Reinert Stamps.